So we are going to make a tossed pattern really quick, and we want it to be a really tightly packed pattern. Uh, you might use this for your ditzy, this type of technique for your ditzy, which is a type of floral that's generally like a really packed, tight pattern. And I don't want to use all ducks. I think I'm also going to use some like polka dots. We will just grab that same yellow and do a few of these everywhere. And the polka dots are going to be nice and easy to fill. I cannot handle my transform controls today, are driving me nuts. Okay. Before we even draw the background, I am going to bring this into pattern design mode. And this is my first real, and maybe honestly my only tip for this, is that we are going to use pattern design mode to preview. So object, pattern, make. I'm gonna hit OK, and it's added it to my swatches over here. And here's the pattern, and we can decide, in this mode, whether we want it to be, brick or grid, and we can adjust the width and the height. So when you're doing this without a background square, oh God, you have a lot more flexibility in adjusting these, and we can use it to make sure everything is perfect. And we can even draw in this mode. So if we needed to add some other motifs, we could easily do that. Or if we needed to like add a duck motif or whatever, we could copy and paste a duck motif. So I feel like I definitely need like at least one more polka dot here. And remember, if you're drawing or adding shapes in this mode, you want to make sure that your shape touches the edge of the blue square, and you can shut off the edge of the blue square with this option in the pattern options, but I normally leave it on. And so you can see right now that since it's touching the blue square, that motif is indeed repeating throughout the pattern. And I'm actually going to change this down to 3x3. You always want to work with like the least number of repeats possible, unless you have like a super powerful computer. Especially when you are doing things like changing stuff. So right now we can see that it is in fact repeating. There it is, and there it is. But if we move it off to the side so it's not touching the blue, sometimes it'll disappear. I swear, things don't happen when I want them to. The glitches don't happen when I want them to. But safe bet, keep this touching the edge. It'll also make it easier for you to copy and paste it, right? So now that we are satisfied with this pattern, maybe we want this duck to be a little bigger or whatever. Once we're satisfied and things are tight, that duck was not grouped, so instead I will add another polka dot. I'm holding Alt to be able to easily copy and paste while I'm dragging. Okay. Once we're satisfied with like how tightly packed everything is, and I'm sure we could make things, even tighter and keep adding more and more polka dots. Maybe we need one over here. We can grab it all, hit Control A, and then Control C, and then hit done. And done is actually going to preserve this, but copying and pasting will mean that we can see our new tile, right? If we paste. So this was our original tile, and then this is what we ended up with. So we can make sure that like everything fits into each other. And then what we also want to do is make sure we write down these numbers. So I just double clicked on the pattern. And that's why I hit done instead of cancel, because we can reference this now. 3.25 and 3 inches. So we would make a rectangle that's that size. Fill it with our background color. No stroke, and our background color. Send it to back. And we would start doing our the moving around of the pieces that I've gone over many times in past lectures. So I'm not going to go over them again. And this would, especially if you had overlapping pieces, doing that kind of copying and pasting, right? This piece goes over there, object transform, move, 3.25 inches to the left, all of that good jazz. All of that, especially if you had a piece where there were overlapping motifs, it's really important to do that. You can, I'm going to tell you a secret, especially with something where there are no motifs overlapping, or if you have like a really complex design and you can't get it to work with a background and you've tried, you can do 2 layers instead of a background. And I'm only telling you this kind of at mid-semester because I want you to practice the techniques that we've talked about before. But there's always other ways to do things. And this technique, it's not like as durable, if you understand what I'm saying. Like if we go to bring this into spoon flour, there's going to be some kind of extra steps. But here it is, our beautiful repeat. Look at how I get a lineup with their little, there's like a stripe happening with their beaks. I wonder if I can fix that. Just flip this one upside down or something. And let's also reflect it. It's probably still going to be a stripe. All right, let's hit done. Ugh, still bad. I'd have to add some like orange polka dots too to really break it up. But hopefully you get the idea. You can kind of cheat and do 2 layers if your design is complicated, or if it's simple enough that it really wouldn't make a difference. That is always a good option. All right, let me know if you have any questions about that. That was just a pretty straightforward tip, a couple cheats, right? We can use object pattern make as a preview, and then we can do the typical tile creation that I have required you to do in the past. And we can also cheat a little bit and make a transparent pattern and then put it on top of a background square for our portfolio presentations. But I highly suggest that you do know how to make the traditional tiles that I've talked about in past lectures. All right. I will talk to you later. Bye.